This is Sparta!
Fatality.
What's up? This is episode number 12 of the the YouTube. I got UFO and YouTube all confused. The UFO Buster Radio YouTube episode, known as the Thursday Night Freakout. So you guys are always more than welcome to join me on this little adventure that we call YouTube. And to be honest, I don't have too much to freak out about today. Some strange reason, but hopefully we got some folks that'll join us and give us about a little bit of a freak out or two. But in the meantime, until people warm up to the idea, what we're going to do first off is we're going to play a little video of one of our most favorite people when it comes to people in ufology, and that is Neil deGrasse ass Tyson. He was recently on the news. Actually, when was this? Was when the Venus stuff broke out, you know, about the Russians and life. Really not the Russians, because for fuck's sake, you know, what can you do? The Russians they do what they do. Gamevit's on live. He says, could you turn up the volume? I don't know. How's about that? Don't know if that's going to help any. But yeah, so Neil deGrasse Tyson was out there talking about Venus and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and play that real quick, just because I might have to, you know, fix my volume. So by the way, he was on what do they call that thing? Fox Business. Like, why the hell would Fox Business be talking about this? It's really strange indeed. But give me a second here. We'll get that rolling. One of these days, these guys are going to catch up to me, and they're going to be like, "Hey, why are you playing our shit?" and give me a copyright notice. Check, let me make sure the volume's up. Check this out.
Scientists discovering possible signs of life on Venus. A new study finding traces of gas in the planet's clouds may indicate that some form of life existed or may even exist there. Famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson joins us now to break it all down. We are honored to have you, sir.
Great to be back.
This is surprising to a lot of people. Yes, thank you, because Venus is a pretty hostile planet, right?
It's as hostile as it gets. It's much hotter than a pizza oven, if you want to actually do the math on that. So these molecules that were discovered, they're called biomarkers. So until the day arrives where we have magic telescopes that can see to the surfaces of shrouded planets and watch for creatures crawling back and forth, until that day arrives, which may be never, we have to be satisfied with not finding life directly, but finding the signature of life, the biomarkers that betray the existence of life at anywhere else in the world that you're studying. And so these molecules, it's phosphine, which is phosphorus with 3 hydrogen atoms attached to it. That's known to be a product of life on Earth, life as we know it, that metabolizes not in the presence of oxygen. So anaerobic life, it's called collectively. You have it in your gut. It's in the gut of farm animals. It's a common phenomenon on Earth. And there aren't many ways.
Don't you just love
deGrasse Tyson other than by the natural causes of being alive? And so they found a layer in Venus's atmosphere that's not so high temperature, not so high pressure, and it's sort of just right. You can imagine like a Goldilocks zone in the atmosphere that could sustain molecules of biology.
How surprising was this to you, and how big of a deal is it?
Oh, I'm completely surprised. I'm delighted and surprised because it was so easy to just write off Venus as, it's still an interesting planet, but if you want to look for life, let's all look to Mars. So, but really, we should have known this earlier. Back in 1976, Carl Sagan and Edwin Salpeter got together and published a paper speculating on what life might be like thriving in the atmosphere of Jupiter. Now, the press ran with it and said, "Oh, we've discovered life on Jupiter." No, it was a scientific exercise to ask, is the energy supply, the chemistry, the convection, the kinematics, the dynamics, can that all come together and create a life and sustain a life ecosystem that is outside of our expectations? And so it was an intriguing research paper, peer-reviewed and published. And so this is kind of in the spirit of that. Instead of looking to the scorching hot surface of Venus, we're looking in its atmosphere.
Yeah. So what do we do from here?
She's so fucking clueless.
We don't have the tools to dig deeper, but we could send something there to look, right, as we have on other planets. Is it worth that in your mind?
Yeah, so Venus is not very far away. In fact, among all planets, it gets the closest to us. So relative to other missions in the solar system, a Venus mission is relatively cheap. So you pose the perfect question. So once you have this tantalizing evidence of this molecule, a biomarker, now we are in a position to ask the next round of questions. What could possibly be causing it? How would it be sustained? How would you go into the atmosphere? Don't go too deep because you could vaporize your craft. You want to sort of skim into the atmosphere, possibly bring back samples to return. If they're microbes, you'd want to sort of capture them and bring them back to our labs. It's not realistic to send an orbiting lab to Venus, not at least at this stage of our spacefaring prowess. And by the way, just if I can back up for a moment, this was a collaboration. It was like telescopes in Chile, in the UK, scientists in the United States, and it's quite the triumph once again of international scientific collaboration, which should be a model of how the rest of us behave in this world. And unfortunately, I don't think we always live up to it.
Well, we can look at the bright side and say it's like social distancing among scientists all around the world. They're far apart, but, you know, they're going to collaborate. I'm going to look at it that way. Neil deGrasse Tyson, thank you so much for coming on. My whole house was looking forward to this today. You know, thank you, my friend.
Excellent.
See you
Excellent.
next time. Connell.
Delighted to help serve.
I don't know about you guys, but she was so like caught off guard, but by all the great news he had. What's up, GameVet? GameVet is on live now. Actually, you hit it on the nail, GameVet. I had the wrong microphone on.
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it all sucks. Actually, yeah, because I'm actually doing this video right now on a Wuhan special, an action cam out of China, and for some reason it took over the microphone setting, so it was trying to capture audio while I've got this beautiful Blue Yeti mic in front of me, and it wasn't doing shit for me. So there you go. What's going on with you, GameVet? What's going on your neck of the woods? Any strange happenings?
I had something a little strange on my way to work this evening. It was
oh, today? Are you shitting me today?
No, today, honestly.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing was is I was driving to work, and all of a sudden I look up and I see this cloud, and it, you know, it almost looked like Trump's face, right? It looked like his head, but it was like it looked like his head on a pen, right?
Mm-hmm.
See if you can see this. So it was laying like this, and the face was on the one side, and it looked like a pen on the other side. And
right.
I'm looking at the thing, and I'm like, man, that's really odd. You know, that's different. So I'm sitting there looking at this cloud, and all of a sudden I see this little black dot kind of zooming around by the head of, you know, where the face is.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, that's interesting. And all of a sudden the thing kind of zips over like it's coming towards me, but then it disappears. And all of a sudden, whatever it was flashed, like the flash video I have on my channel. And it was a bright blue flash, and at the point where it was the brightest, it looked like the same shape as whatever I caught it in my video. And
this is on your usual drive, huh?
Yeah, on my way. Yeah, my usual drive. I drive about I'd say about 25, 20 between 25, 27 minutes to work. And yeah, it was like a bright blue flash, and right at the peak of where it was the most bright, I saw the looked like a triangle shaped deal, and with that it was gone. And by that time I got my camera out and I was recording, and I didn't see anything anymore after that.
Yeah, that is just crazy. All these things that you're capturing up there, and you're in the Midwest,
Yeah, I'm up in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, big time. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
a lot of crazy stuff happening up there. So, but this is something that's happening to you like constantly. You almost don't get a
Right.
break, do you?
No, not really. It's I don't know why, but it seems like I'm seeing stuff at least 2 to 3 times a week. So it's
Yeah,
very,
that's rough.
very strange.
That would make you question a lot of things.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want to get a night vision camera. So if anybody out there that knows of a real good, digital camera that's night vision or something like that, let me know in the comments or whatever. I'd like to do some shopping.
You know what I think you need? You need a partner in crime on this drive. Because I remember there was one point where Ronnie Dawson would tell people that he would see all these UFOs. And, he drives what is that? A truck for the oil rigs,
Right.
delivering crude oil. And he would always tell these stories. And then one day he decided to take the whole family and a family friend on this trip. And bada bing, they saw UFOs. The entire family. So I wonder if maybe you should have someone with you one time to check it out. I don't know if your company that you drive
Yeah,
with even allows that, because some of them don't.
Yeah, they won't allow it. But I do want to get, like I said, I do want to get a camera or something that's night vision that I can set up in the truck, or set up outside at home, something like that. There's a lot of sightings I have are at home, and then the sightings I have on the road. This dash cam I have right here, it's honestly right there.
Oh, there you go.
It doesn't record half the stuff I see, with my own eyes.
So it doesn't have like really good low light. Is that what you're saying?
Right. It says it does, but it really doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's incredible. I would love to see some of that stuff in the infrared, or even like low light settings where we can really catch that stuff. Because I would imagine that, to the naked eye, if you can see it and you put it on some night vision, geez, that shit's going to stand out pretty nicely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have. I mean, because this dash cam, it has a night vision camera on the opposite side, but I can't mount it to the windshield the opposite way. So I can't have the night vision facing forward, which is really stupid. But I tried to use that camera when I saw that fleet, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And it said it was recording, and then of course it wasn't. I hooked it up to the computer and it didn't capture anything. It didn't even create a file for the second camera, so I missed out on that. But I do have the files on my phone still.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. But I think you got someone that might ride with you. It looks like Joshua Dynamite from the No Big Deal podcast. He says he'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would watch out, because PEG. Anyway, so
yeah,
but
there's
that's
going to be an
fantastic.
uptick on. Yeah, there's going to be an uptick on butt plugs, I think, because people are going to be cautious for the probing.
Yeah, the probings and the not the accidental, but the intentional receivers. So anyway, so you were saying in Discord that you're thinking is, I believe, I remember it was you saying that there might be an uptick of sightings, UFO sightings. Was there?
Right.
Was it something in particular happening in the sky tonight?
Just that sighting I witnessed on my way to work here. I ran into a guy yesterday. He lives up here in Minnesota, and I'm reaching out to him right now. He had a sighting, I guess, was it last week or a week before last? I guess he said it was the size of a stadium. He said the thing was huge. Yeah, he said it was huge. So I want to try to get him on and talk with him about that. That sounds like a real interesting story.
And was he driving when he saw this?
I don't know. I don't know the whole thing. I met him in a chat room.
Oh, okay. I thought it was more like in your travels. Did you come across him? Yeah, but that is fascinating. And again, like I said, like I don't have that, not even a tenth, not even a percentage, 1% of what you're experiencing and seeing out there. I could only imagine how I would be like totally stuck to the sky, just watching all the time, trying to catch the next big thing. Oh, I think we're losing you. Yeah, no, actually, I don't think we did lose you. GameVid is out, down and out. It must have been the whole pegging statement that we see here from Joshua Dynamite. He ran for the hills. Let me say what's up to the guys that are in the chat right now. The Norm, and we've got we had GameVid. He was in there. Green Man's in there, and Joshua Dynamite, of course. No Big Deal podcast. Now there is something something else I wanted to play today, and that is about the an uptick of UFO activity and maybe historical UFO activity out in Manitoba. Yeah, Winnipeg. Listen, the shit is just going on everywhere. You can't get away from it, ladies and gentlemen. UFOs are going to UFO. That's it. I mean, that's what it is. But there's interesting stories that we have being told here. So we're going to check those out real quick. We're going to bring this up for you peeps and take a listen to this while GameVid comes back in action and lets us know what's up.
On a clear night in Manitoba, you may see all sorts of things in the sky. Planes, birds, perhaps even a UFO.
Yeah, it seems our province is a hotspot for unidentified flying objects. Over the years, thousands have been reported for again, a number of years that have been logged, and some are truly bizarre. CTV's John Hendricks joins us now in our studios.
Now, John, I know you've been sifting through a lot of UFO reports. What's the ratio of Chinese lanterns?
I just want to say that he does look like an alien, doesn't he? For fuck's sake.
To actual unidentified flying objects.
Well, Marilee, it is higher than you might think. There are more and more reports of UFOs being made each year. Now, most are later identified, but some simply can't be easily explained.
No way, it broke a sound barrier.
I know.
Late one afternoon this summer, Kent Graham saw something strange in the sky above Winnipeg. Something he simply couldn't explain.
Your eye goes to it right away. It was like an orange sparkler coming down. The sparks went away, and it was just a globe of orange light that started just doing crazy moves.
Moves he can't imagine any earthly object duplicating.
It's unidentified, that's for sure.
And just one of thousands of unexplained objects sighted in the skies over our province.
Look at it, it's behind the tree. What is that?
It seems Manitoba is a hotbed of UFO activity, with thousands of sightings stretching back to the earliest days of our province's existence.
Picture this, 1792, that's quite a long time ago, and a lot of the West was still generally unsettled. David Thompson was in an area that was now around Thicket Portage in 1792, and it was winter, when they said that they had seen a mass of gelatinous luminosity moving through the air, and it actually approached them, and when it was in a few 100 feet of them, it dropped to the surface of the lake and vanished from sight.
UFO researcher Chris Rutkowski says Thompson had no reason to make up this story, and given the time period, it couldn't have been a plane or other man-made object that he spotted in the sky.
Very intriguing, a mystery.
One of the many compiled in a report he calls the M-Files. Another favorite chronicles a strange encounter between a cube-shaped UFO and a group of children in Thompson on June 30th, 1967.
As they were playing, this wind came up and this object appeared in the sky, and one of the girls who was closest to it started being sucked up into the sky by this whatever it was. And they actually had to grab her legs and pull her back down to the ground to keep her from flying off and being abducted by a flying cube.
The incident was witnessed by the girl's father, the object by the mother, and neither one had any motive to lie about it.
So I'd have to rank that fairly high up on the strange factor.
Where does Kent Graham's sighting rank?
Did you see that?
Rutkowski was able to enhance the video somewhat, and the object becomes clearer and less mysterious.
Probably a drone, yeah.
Not an aircraft, it's not a Chinese lantern.
Rutkowski says most UFO reports are later identified, but about 17% are officially labeled as unexplained.
After being involved in this for more than 30 years, there is a real phenomenon. I can definitely say there's a real phenomenon. It's not
17% in Manitoba. That's kind of fucking high. What the hell? What's going on over there? Didn't the Popette? Didn't Nick Pope said more like what 3 to 4%, maybe 5%? 17%. There's a lot of shit flying out of Winnipeg. Yeah, I gotta watch out. Watch your heads up there. This is nuts.
something that's made up. It's not hallucinations. People are actually seeing things.
What those things are remains unknown, unidentified, and a chapter to be investigated in the M Files.
Now, as we mentioned, there have been thousands of sightings across our province, the vast majority right here in Winnipeg. There have been 767 UFO sightings in Winnipeg, tops in the province. Carmen had the second most with 53. Now, Brandon had 45 UFO sightings. There were 40 UFO reports up north in Thompson, and the small farming community of Sperling was fifth with 36 sightings.
John, most are a chance occurrence, but is there anything a person can do to increase their odds of seeing these things?
Yeah, if you want to see something, it looks like you can do something to improve those odds.
You can give up the booty. That's about all you can do. Just go stand on the local mountain in Winnipeg and get ready to accept the probing. They'll come in droves, I'm telling you. You will instantly, you will become alien bait. I mean, let's be honest about it. You'll become alien bait. No kidding. If you go up there and get ready to receive a interstellar pegging, I guess. Yeah, so that's a really fascinating story. And when I saw it, I was like, why not share it? Again, we have places all over the world that experiences UFOs. Winnipeg, geez Louise, their freaking sightings pretty much outpaced everyone else in the local area by quite a bit, like almost 600 sightings to 700 sightings. But, like you said, 17% could be end up in the unexplained pile. Things like drones are a problem because drones are everywhere. I mean, there was a point in time where you had to, have a good chunk of change, spend over $1,000 just to get a drone. Now you can get one go to freaking Walmart and get one for like 40 fucking bucks. And it won't be huge or anything like that, but still, these things are everywhere now. They got prosumer ones that are freaking huge. You guys have seen it. You've seen it on YouTube. There's some professional drones that can actually carry a damn person. That's how freaking huge they are. And they carry like all sorts of professional cameras that normally it would take a grown-ass dude to carry. And it'll carry like 2 or 3 of those damn things. That's the world we live in now. Drones have clouded the, the ufology, right? The sightings are just completely nuts these days. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But the good thing is cameras are getting better. As you saw in the way he zoomed into that particular video, he was actually able to tell that this probably more than likely was a drone. But that's not the case always. And a lot of times we see things that are completely freaking nuts, and no drone that's out there now, at least not owned by an individual or a local company, can do those type of maneuvers in the air. But that's where we're at right now. That's what we're dealing with. That's the drone life, pretty much. But drones are great. Hopefully one day I'll be able to capture one. I got another video here that I was setting up, and we'll talk through this because it's about SN8. For you guys down in Boca Chica, Texas, who are getting ready for the biggest freaking hop you've ever seen SpaceX do. There is, like I said, there's always 24-hour video running from Boca Chica, and people are watching. They are watching. I'm going to share this real quick because I think the images speak for themselves. This is by far the largest starship that you're about to see that's getting placed on the stand for testing. And only part of it is there now. The rest of it is still on its way, actually. So we'll see that eventually. Good old Musk will get that for us. And we'll leave the audio on because, for fuck's sake, why not? And there it is. Look at the size of that thing. This thing is freaking humongous. Are you shitting me? Look at that. Those guys look so tiny next to this SN8. It is amazing. So it is on pad A right now, getting ready for testing. So, it's going to be a sight to freaking see when we finally get to the point where we can see that gigantic belly flop from was it 50,000 feet in the air? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. And I just wonder how many people down there in South Texas are going to miss it. Fuck, how many people even know? Dre says I have size envy. Yeah, I wish I had a rocket that big. Yeah, no, guaranteed. And as you see there, it does have the fins on it. So we are going to see a very well constructed and almost complete version of the Starship when SN8 takes off. By the way, this Boca Chica gal who has all these pictures and videos, amazing work. It's kind of like when we're speaking to GameFed about all the sightings that he has. I can imagine that there's a lot of people out there in South Texas who are so focused on what SpaceX is doing and what's coming up next. There's so many YouTube channels out there that are recording and reporting this. And right now, what we see is fantastic, completely fantastic. GameFed said he's trying to call back in, but he is still on the phone. He was getting phone calls. People know when you're in the middle of shit, they start fucking calling you. That's a freak out right there. Like when you get on the shitter and then you get a phone call, somebody wants to call you, and you're in the middle of playing a game while you're on the throne. That shit really pisses people off. I'll be honest. But that is what's happening right now in Boca Chica. So soon, you should be seeing some testing going on, getting ready to show us what this thing can do by doing a swanton bomb free fall from 50,000 feet. It's just going to be amazing, completely amazing. Dre says he's on the throne right now, but there's nothing better that you can do on the throne than crack a couple of farts, drop a brick, and watch UFO Buster Radio on YouTube. I mean, he's living the life right now. Seriously. The only other thing he could have to really make this throne visit 1,000,000% better is maybe a shot of whiskey on the side or some tequila while he's dropping the deuce. I mean, why not, right? So far yet, there has not been a time where they've identified forward testing. Actually, and when they put this thing on there, they did not have all three of the Raptor engines that are supposed to be part of this particular launch. So I could just imagine. I mean, if people had issues before with environmental concerns, and you stick 3 of those Raptor engines on there, come on. There isn't going to be a damn thing alive in the whole area after that bitch takes off. There really isn't. You can just forget about it. Environmental concerns, done. Everything's dead. No need to worry. Dre wants to know if they picked up the parts from eBay. Yeah, of course they did. I mean, Elon doesn't screw around. He's trying to build a company here. He has to have like a bunch of budget parts until the IPO launches, and you can buy stock into SpaceX. Yeah. Oh, and Starlink as well. IPO. He's thinking about an IPO for that too. I'm not sure if he did one for SpaceX actually, but get ready. There is going to be some serious spaceology going down south of Texas. The thing is just huge. It's just amazing the work that they've done when it comes to this. It is fantastic. Let me just let it play for a second while I get myself a little bit of this rum. Andre Dre says that it looks hollow. Yeah, it pretty much is. This thing is supposed to be a tank actually, and it's hollow now because there's no fuel in it. But eventually they'll put the lid on it. They'll finish adding the Raptor engines, and that Raptor engine right there is that little thing there looks a little bit offset. So it's probably where one of the Raptors is gonna go. I don't know. I don't watch this shit all fucking day, but I could just imagine that once they fill this thing on, they put the cone on it, and the rest of the damn fins, it'll be a sight to see. The silver phallus rides again, and coming to destroy a beach area near you in the near future. I mean, it's crazy. You know what? I honestly, just looking at the sheer size of this and thinking about what is going to be going down, geez, I really have to make a trip down there during one of these tests down in Boca Chica. Maybe pick up Dre on the way over. He can ride on the back of my motorcycle and go see what's going down. What's happening? What's happening down there? How can we get to see this up close and personal? And actually, when I went down there right after the little R2D2 hop, right after the little R2D2 hop, I actually was able to drive by the launch pad. Everything was wide open. You can just drive on through all the way down to the beach, down to the shore. And what I hear now is when they go to launch now, they actually close off about 3 miles north of the launch area of SpaceX. And you basically, if you want to get up close and personal, you need to have yourself a good camera set up so that, or maybe like a little telescope or something, binoculars, in order to be able to see what's going down. So I would imagine as Elon continues with his plan, I would imagine that would all pretty much come down to an end. Basically, he's got the resort that's going to be built, and I'm sure a front row seat is going to be reserved for people that pay the big bucks, pay the really big bucks. Green Man says, Dre, the biker bunny, could be. Maybe we could put some ears on him, see what he looks like. He might just be the perfect biker bunny. You never know. Though I don't think it's something he's not in his bucket list, I don't think, to be honest. Now I've noticed in the last few YouTube freakouts that the video has been pretty bad. It's been pretty disgusting, actually. And I just grabbed these action cams from China. Got to support the Wuhan folks. They're really working hard to make that military grade coronavirus. And so you got to support them. So I picked up this because the GoPro is too damn expensive. And so far it's pretty good. It's been amazing little thingamabob. So I'm going to use it in some of my travels on the bikes and see what I can capture. During the day it looks great. And right now I actually have to have a couple of lights on because the light's really poor here because Bugs, he doesn't like bright lights. It makes him nervous. But other than that, the camera itself works fantastic. So we'll see what it looks like whenever it happens. Dre says Manny has his marker to his left. Nope. I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, it's going to be a short one because apparently no one has anything to freak out about. I was hoping that someone would share, like we talked about last week, the Asgardians, someone would step up and show their neck of the woods. But Green Man's busy. Little Igor apparently went to the vet and he had a shot. Yeah, he got a shot from the vet. Oh, that's not good. He's having a allergic reaction. Not a good thing. He says the other Mexican to the left. That is my left. Yeah, it's partly not your left, Dre. Yeah, so there you go. For the next episode, it looks like the freak out for next Thursday will not happen because of inattendance. Oh, because Chris Garcia is he's been asking to come back to hang out with you guys and give you a little bit of a prediction here and there, share a little bit of his activities, or maybe even talk about your future, if you will. So he'll be coming back, see what he can tell you guys. Done. Funny thing is that I do owe GameVit. I do owe him some information regarding Chris Garcia and what he shared regarding his sightings. But what better way to get him the info than to have him actually here with us to tell him himself. What is it? What's going on? Why all the paranormal activity in his house? And then when he's on the road, why all the crazy UFO sightings? But Chris Garcia and his team has some information. Now check this out. This is something that I wanted to share also. We're talking about the big flop for SN8. Here's what this animation that we have here is going to show you what you're looking at. Just imagine that you're sitting on the shore of Boca Chica and you're witnessing this.
Considering all of the steps, all of the tests that have yet to be performed with the Starship, this particular moment seems so far away. And yet, in spite of this, the level of excitement amongst SpaceX enthusiasts, including myself, is as high as it ever was. And yet, to an outsider, the excitement might be pretty hard to understand. I mean, the Starship prototype is not going to orbit, not even close, not even using all of its engines. It's just performing a hop that's measured in kilometers instead of meters. I mean, what's the big deal? And these amazingly powerful Raptor vacuum engines that we've watched being tested, not going on board because, after all, the ship is not going into vacuum. So, what's the excitement? From what we can see from these images, generously provided, by the way, by Boca Chica Gal, who's been a partner of this channel for a long time now, and I urge you folks to follow the link in the description and subscribe to her if you haven't already. But that having been said, really, SN8, as this prototype is called, doesn't look a whole lot different than the previous ones, aside from the fact that we're adding fins, and we're going to be flying to a height of 20 kilometers, or wait a minute, no, it's actually 15 kilometers, according to Elon now. We've kind of taken a little bit of the ambition off of this flight, but for good reason, I think. So it just looks like a water tower with fins. Why is this so exciting again? Well, for those of us who want to see scenes like this in the future, this is the most important test so far.
Come on, you guys know that thing looks amazing right there.
It is absolutely critical that this test go off well eventually. Although it probably won't go off well the first time, it must go off consistently on a regular basis, flawlessly, if we expect to see scenes like this in the future. And more importantly, if we're going to be seeing scenes like...
Now, if you were an ET, wouldn't that look fucking scary as hell to see, like, especially like in this video, they're showing these black starships, wouldn't that be scary? Like, really, seeing that thing flying around the planet Earth, almost like stealthy, like it's about to kick somebody's ass. I wouldn't come probe anybody on the planet.
This in the future, the purpose for which the Starship was actually created, transporting large numbers of personnel and cargo to the Red Planet. If this is even to be a remote possibility in the future, this test is going to have to come off well at some point. And even if it does, it's still not going to tell us everything we need to know about one of the most important parts of Starship development, what I call the Starship suicide dive.
Oh, shit is about to get serious. Wait, for fuck's sake, what the hell just happened here? Let me just search here. Come on, can we get to the damn dive? Oh, fuck, we're actually gonna see this guy talking here. Let's fast forward that.
Kilometer hop is not going to before. This particular test is not going to teach us a whole lot about re-entry, at least in terms of the initial stage of it, where you're going to be looking at a fireball traveling across the sky.
He sounds like he was on the shitter next to Dre over there, because he sounds like he's holding a brick in while he's doing this video. Because, like, just let it go. If he would just let it go before he started recording, everything would be great, and he wouldn't talk like this.
The 15-kilometer hop is not going to generate nearly that kind of heat, although, nonetheless, the ship will be equipped with a small patch of thermal tiles for testing. However, the test will teach us a lot about how the Starship performs in its skydiver role in terms of control being generated by its flaps and also by its reaction control thrusters. From an altitude of 15 kilometers, the Starship will reach terminal velocity very quickly, and then we'll be able to determine just how well it maneuvers under these conditions, and
Like,
more
do we want to
importantly, how it lands. Now, the reason 20
Oh,
kilometers
there you go.
is an
There's the
important
shit.
altitude is because this is the altitude that SpaceX anticipates that the Starship is going to level out and achieve subsonic speeds during re-entry. As you can see, SpaceX is estimating about 3 minutes of subsonic flight before it attempts a landing, but
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Like, if you're down in Boca Chica and for some reason the fucking thing does not make it in time to break in 3 minutes, and you see it flash over you in Houston, you're fucked. You've got nowhere to go. There is nowhere to run, Houston. Like, if this Starship ends up in the wrong spot, yeah, you're pretty much screwed. You can just kiss your asses goodbye, Houston. But hopefully, when the hop happens, it won't happen over Houston or any other metropolitan area.
SN8 is going to have substantially more than that for a number of reasons. First of all, it's going to take a moment for it to get to terminal velocity after it reaches its 15-kilometer altitude. And then, even at full out terminal velocity, which in our atmosphere is about 200 kilometers per hour, it will take about 4.5 minutes to reach zero altitude from 15 kilometers. Now, the fins should make the dive a bit less than terminal velocity, so actually the entirety of
It's
the
all
dive,
fucking terminal.
even from 15 kilometers, is probably going to be significantly more than 4.5 minutes, giving the Starship engineers plenty of time to test the control.
Dre is asking, is the Starship? No, it's not going to carry anything except what little fuel it needs to stop from blowing up half of South Texas, basically. That's about it.
And stability of the Starship during its dive. This extra time should give SpaceX the time they need to make sure the Starship comes down where they want it to. But what I'm particularly interested in is, when are they actually going to do this particular crazy pull-up maneuver that they're going to execute in order to land on Mars or even on
You
Earth?
guys who are not on YouTube are
Personally, I
missing a
hope
great
they do
animation
it
right
as
now.
late as possible in the process. Now, the reason I'm hoping for this is that although ships in Earth orbit, like tankers and that sort of thing, are going to have the luxury of pulling up earlier, thus reducing the chance of a crash, that's not what's going to be happening on Mars. Ships re-entering Earth's atmosphere are going to, of course, have the luxury of a much thicker atmosphere, and they're probably going to have more fuel available to them as well. Let me explain why. Now, in order to explain this, we need to review quickly how the Starship is going to get to Mars in the...
I don't think I need to review this. Well, I don't even know what we're talking about Mars. We're way, way far away from Mars at the moment. So let's not talk about Mars. We want to talk about Mars. Let's see. Let's fast forward a little bit here and see if you've got any nice animations here. Oh, here we go. 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 Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. Let's see what this is.
Percentage of the fuel is going to be lost through boil-off. Although Methalox fuel doesn't lose as much through boil-off, it's still going to lose some. So by the time the Starship hits the Martian atmosphere,
for fuck's sake, leave freaking Mars alone.
On fumes, and it's going to be relying on the atmosphere to slow it down.
Check it out. Look at that animation.
Like.
Being depicted here. And this is where things get downright frightening, because terminal velocity on Mars, even though the gravity is only 1/3 of ours, is 1,000 kilometers per hour, 5 times what it is on Earth.
Draconian math for you guys.
The exception to this is very close to the Martian surface, where the atmosphere becomes considerably more dense, and this is what the Starship needs to take advantage of.
For fuck's sake, this video is dense. Yeah, but there you go. What a great image to stop at, seeing all that hot stuff going on as it's breaking through the atmosphere of Mars to eventually, hopefully, land safely. I could just imagine. Could you imagine if it goes wrong? That would really suck, especially since they already had a one-way ticket anyway. Gamevid joined us again. I don't know if we can hear him. Gamevid, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Yeah, can I say what that video looked like?
I think everybody knows. If you're a regular, you've seen the silver phallus fly, and it's coming back again. Dre says SpaceX wants to get all up in your Mars Uranus.
Right.
Yeah, I bet it does. Hey, listen. It is what it is. It's a fantastic vehicle, and it's only going to get better, but hopefully without any big accidents. All of these programs have accidents, let's be honest, and they really haven't had a big one. They've had small ones, like the Crew Dragon blew up. You know, that's why they turned off the rocket, so the thing has to land by parachute. But we haven't really had a really significant happening with SpaceX and the Starship, so fingers crossed it doesn't happen ever, but we're only humans, so we're bound to fuck up the design somehow. Yep.
Exactly.
So, Gamer, are you currently on the road for...
Yes, sir. I'm on the road right now. Yeah.
So you think you'll find any sightings tonight?
I think tonight is a good night to grab a camera and go outside, honestly.
Yeah,
really
I think it'll be fascinating, right? If you're having all these situations and then all of a sudden you kind of call it, right? And you have an incident tonight. That would be a little crazy. Dre says that we should ask Ronnie to go to the astral plane and see if it is successful. Not sure what it is. Not sure what Dre is referring to.
Yeah, I'm surprised Dre didn't join up on here.
I don't know. He's talking about that there's a full moon there. Yeah, he might still be on the throne, and maybe that's what's happening.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. Oh, you can see bugs in the background there stretching out on the video. That's the UFO.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about earlier. I had a phone call and the phone wouldn't stop ringing, so I missed what you said before.
Yeah, it's all a little crazy. Just going over the good old SpaceX SN8 stuff, and that's about it. And Dre says it is the launch. Not really sure what that is. And this is the Thursday Freakout on YouTube. GameVid is on live. I think he's probably going to be the only one joining because Green Man is out. Tom Selleck is taking care of his puppies. And we're at 51 minutes. This might be the end of it, GameVid.
Well, all right. Well, I wish Igor the best, and you guys listening in, if if you're unsure about UFO sightings and you don't know if you might see one or not, grab a camera, go outside, just start recording the sky. You never know what you might see.
Amen to that. For sure. And these things are so accessible. You might not get the best camera out there, but at the very least, you'll get something good. I mean, a lot of these cell phones are fantastic for catching things. We see them all the time. We saw it in that Winnipeg video, the UFO that one gentleman caught over there in Manitoba. So you just got to be looking. Just got to look. You'll find something, I'm sure. In Manitoba.
Right. Even though that my cell phone camera, when I was recording that fleet, it was so dark. Even though I don't think I captured anything through the camera, I did capture audio though, which is really fascinating because it almost sounds like singing as they were flying by, but to my ears I couldn't hear anything, but in the camera you almost hear what sounds like singing. So that's interesting all in itself.
I gave it. So if you don't mind me asking, what kind of a camera is that?
Which one? The two I was using that night?
Right.
I was just using my cell phone, the Samsung Galaxy phone, and then I was trying to use my dash cam, but it said it was recording, but it obviously wasn't. But this phone actually records really good audio.
Oh, it's what is it, like a 9 or a?
It's a V40, whatever that means.
Yeah, I have a lot of good experiences with my Samsung, especially the video is actually pretty excellent. My Samsung right now can record up to 4K. It's really good. So yeah, these days there isn't a reason why not to. If you're interested in the topic and you want to catch something, kind of like GameVid said, just go out there and spend some time just looking up to the sky. Yeah, you'll see something eventually.
Yeah, you never know. Like I say, even driving to work, I thought the cloud was strange, and then all of a sudden, looking at it closer, then I saw something kind of darting around it. I'm like, what's that now? So even though it looks like there's nothing there, really, actually, pay attention. Because sometimes you'll see something really crazy, like you might see what looks like static, in the sky or even right in front of you. And, if you have something like that, something else is going to happen, I couldn't tell you how many times I was walking around and I'd see what looked like it was kind of fuzzy in front of me, like almost you're watching a TV show and the picture kind of glitches out a little bit.
Right.
I see that a lot. And, if you're looking at your phone walking, you're not going to see it or whatever. You really have to just kind of sit back and really look around you, see what's really going on.
Yeah, Zachariah says, how about a fishing net and getting one of those grays?
Right. Yeah, I got to attach a couple to my truck, have them on the sides and the roof.
Yeah, could you imagine? There was something I was watching. I've been watching a lot of freaking Netflix lately. But there was someone who actually he believed he crashed into one of them in South America. Hit him with a truck or whatever. But can you imagine having that happen to you? And what would you do? Because this individual took the damn thing home.
Yeah, I'd probably do that same thing. I'd probably see if I could fit it in the trailer and drive it home. Put it in the garage if it was small enough.
Yeah, I'd be afraid. And then there was another story out of Russia, because they love some Venus and penis, and they were out there and apparently some woman. It was a kind of like a movie, but it was based on true events. And apparently some woman found an ET and kept it in her house. And eventually the government got wind of it. They tried to pick it up, but the thing got away eventually, and she'd had it for months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, I don't know, because you hear both sides of the story, right? You hear some of these people, they walk up to the craft and all of a sudden they get severe burns and this and that, and then other stories you hear, they say, oh yeah, I touched it and it gave me a great sensation and all this stuff. It's like, you're honestly,
Wait, are
you
you
don't
talking
know
about
what
aliens? What are you talking about?
Yeah, like if somebody runs into a craft.
Okay, gotcha.
You hear a bunch of different stories like that. It's like, I mean, honestly, I don't know what to believe. Like, I have a feeling that it's got to be something, that can do harm to you if you touch it. It could severely burn you or whatever, or, it could be maybe nuclear, or who knows what, you don't know if there's any radiation or not to it. So, I mean, honestly, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you're not going to know what to do or how to respond until you're actually in it. And unfortunately for most of us, we're not going to be there, at least not in our generation, at least.
Yeah, you never know, though.
Yeah, unless it's a free for all, right? And they just happen to come down and say, fuck it. Yeah, let's all hang out.
I don't know. It's very strange, though. That one I saw today, it was a lot closer than that one I took in the video. And, I'm not lying to anybody here when I say this, but it looked just like what I captured in that video. It was a lot closer, and it seems like these things are getting closer and closer. So, I don't know. I think something's about to go down. I don't know what it is, but honestly, keep an eye out, man.
But hey, the way 2020 is going, I would not be surprised if something like that were to happen, even at a small scale. It would really fit in with the entire year anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but we still gotta wait, right? We're still waiting on the first quarter 2021, the official report. That's going to be presented to the members of Congress here in the United States from the Department of Defense, which I think is going to be all bullshit, but we'll see what happens. We might see some good news.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure Trump will get elected again and all that stuff. So I'm not too worried about that.
Tiger says, unless it was one of those that pop up from the ocean, then it probably won't be. So there's a whole conversation going on in the chat about hot alien ships, kind of like the Silver Phallus. Yeah.
So what do you think about, I mean, I don't know how much time you got left. I can't look at my phone. But what do you think about, like, the sightings I have seen lately? How the one looked like a C-shaped craft that was 2 stories tall. The other one with the, what do you call it, the fleet stuff I saw, the one looked like an upside-down table that was oval-shaped. I mean, do you think these things are from different parts of the galaxy? Do you think they're from the same place, or what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely unexplained, right? Because when I looked at the videos, like, geez, what the heck? You really could not come up with a identifier. You couldn't identify that across any other vehicle that we've seen anywhere. That doesn't mean they don't exist, in the I don't know, the military somewhere, but completely varied, a lot of different variations, the type of craft. And so, yeah, completely unknown to me. But do I think that they could be all from one single place or out from somewhere in the universe? Possible. Do I believe that it could be some things as interdimensional travel that could be happening? Yeah, absolutely. But again, these are things that we know very little about and have no clue how to explain or really how to see these things, to be honest, because it is very possible that a lot of this activity is happening at the wavelengths of light and we can't even see with a human eye. So that, it really gets deep when it comes to trying to figure out what these things are. But definitely, especially that one triangle that you caught that was coming in from like deep space. It looked like it turned around and went back up again.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying it was a flare. Was it satellite flare?
Yeah, somebody was saying it was a satellite. What do you call those? Dang it, I forgot the name of it now. I forget the name of it. But yeah, somebody said it was a satellite. And then after reviewing the footage and all that, doing some research on it, I realized that it was not a satellite because, the direction it was heading and coming from, there's no way. I mean, it changed two directions, and the satellite doesn't change directions like that. It either goes from, east to west or whatever, but it doesn't go from, going from east to west to turn to go south, things like that.
Yeah, and it was really crazy. And to think that even if someone said, well, that could have been, maybe it was an airplane or some high altitude airplane or something, they still wouldn't be able to do it as quickly as that thing did in that video. I don't believe that.
Right. Yeah, that's just it. I mean, it what, turned in half a second, if that.
Yeah, it was fantastic, to be honest. I was like shocked. I couldn't even tell you how many times I replayed that thing. Zechariah says, where did those pictures end up at?
What pictures?
I guess he's talking about all the images that you took, the videos and things like that.
The videos that I've taken were right in front of my house. Basically right in my front yard.
But do you have, the videos you have on your actual channel on YouTube, but do you have pictures on there as well?
No. No, I don't believe I do.
So Zechariah could actually hit you up either on your channel or you can get on Discord and hit you up if you want to see those pictures. Zechariah is pretty good at taking pictures himself. Really professional. Yeah. Dre said, Manny, do you think when SpaceX launches a ship, do you think UFO sightings will increase? There's always UFO sightings whenever any rocket freaking takes off, but most of the time there's fucking birds. For some reason, birds want to fly around freaking rockets that are taking off. That always used to happen in Florida all the time. It's weird.
Always disasters too. Like I was always wondering, with these fires going on, I was wondering if there's more activity with UFOs around the fires.
Yeah, around disasters, like things like volcanoes and stuff like that. You see a lot of UFOs too.
Right.
Yeah, it's very possible. Shoot, I wonder if anyone's actually caught any. That's a good question. We'll have to search the intrawebs and see.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody wants any information, my email's in my about, or what do you call that, information thing on my channel. So you can get a hold of me through email or Discord.
Yeah, and your channel is it? Is it just GameVid02?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So if you look for GameVid02 in YouTube, you'll come across his channel, and on the About link, you'll get all the contact information, or you can join Discord, which is in the description for this particular video and every podcast episode, and you can join in there and have a ball, have fun all damn day. Who needs work? Space Cow, what's up? Space Cow just joined.
Space Cow.
Space Cow. I don't think I've ever seen Space Cow in here before, but they are great alien baits.
I'm wondering if that was on Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim. I haven't heard of that thing in forever. Dre says, what's he's got here? He says, you think Elon has UFO updates for launches? Shit. At the beginning when he first started this, he was like, I don't know nothing about no aliens. I don't know. And then lately, in the last couple months, he's been talking about aliens here and there. So who fucking knows? There is no way. But there's no way that you're not into this, launching rockets, wanting to go to another planet, and that shit does not sit in the back of your mind.
probably got the direct line like the old Batman TV show. He's got the red phone, direct link to the aliens.
Yeah, they're giving him pointers. How
Right.
not to destroy South Texas. That is hilarious. Yeah, so there you go. If you want to check out GameVid stuff, go to his channel. I think we've reached the end of it. Any last words, GameVid, before we shut her down?
Yeah, I do have a couple photos I'm working on. I'm trying to lighten them up a little bit, but yeah, I do have photos. I haven't posted those yet, but that's weird that you say that. So yeah, I do have some of that. Hopefully coming soon here. So that's all for me. I'm just bouncing around in here, so I can let you go.
All right, thanks, GameVid, for joining us, and don't forget to check out his channel, folks. Be careful out there.
All right, thanks, Benny.
Stay noticed.
Thanks, guys.
Dre says Chris is on next week. Chris will not be on the Thursday Freakout. More than likely, we'll be on YouTube for the Dark Horror podcast. So that's when we'll have him on, and chances are it'll be on a Saturday, not Thursday. So keep that in mind if you decide that you want to get on here and get a psychic reading. The good thing about YouTube is that you'll be able to see Chris. You'll be able to see Chris, and you'll be able to see him live. And he'll be able to see you. If you got the cojones, if you got the nads to be a guest and get the reading, that way Chris can meet eye to eye with you and see what your future is. You may or may not want to hear it. You might be scared to find out that, you might be staying at a hotel in Wuhan in about a year, getting some serious probings going on. That's the end of the show for today. I thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to share, to like it, to send it to your peoples, because we're not going to grow. By the way, I'm thinking about starting like a moto vlog on this same channel, but it might create a new channel. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But again, thank you guys. See you next week on the YouTubes. But it'll just be all about psychics. And maybe we'll get the other psychic ladies on here to join Chris as well. We'll just have a triple threat of the future. Ciao.
Go and try your luck. Test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up, like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you parking up, it's the wrong tree, I got the strength. Yeah, I'm charging up, they can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. Pull up and I and I'm swerving. If a try to holler, she gon' curve him. We came from under rugs like a Persian. We been staying in our lane, ain't no merging. Rapping like I'm turban. Yeah, these all square like Irvin. Yeah, we grew up in the hood, no Suburbans. If I say I need my money, then it's urgent. Yeah, they want me to quit. Yeah, they want me to shift. But as long as I'm alive, we gon' keep on making hits. While they steady shooting bricks, man, it's lit. Yeah, it's lit. Me and Dale back to back, and yeah, I'm dishing the assist. Yeah, they talk a lot of but we really with the lame. Always gonna be reaching for they hit, smoking like a clip. They can never catch me slipping. Every time your girl around, she be watch the way I'm dripping. Try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up, like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you parking up, it's the wrong tree, I got the strength. Yeah, I'm charging up, they can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. I'm in flex mode with the best though. That's a major key, that's a chess move. I'm your favorite G, I think it's best, yo. Stop with all the grilling, I'm on jet fuel. Taking off, clear the runway, now they cannot clip my wings. Yeah, they soft, they ain't homie, they ain't even on the scene. Play it smart, they don't know me, they just know what they see. What it costs to get flea, but this style ain't free. It's that swag, just that splash, one wrong move, that's do the dash, keep a stash, just in case they tryna flash. Never lag, we don't slack, tell her I was running back. I don't brag, I'm relaxed, I'm not into all of that, yeah. It's really just the fam and my dogs. I just gotta make a call. I ain't into all that chatting, not at all, not at all. Yeah, I put that on the squad. We been out here going hard. We on deck, please don't make 'em. Go and try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up like the fire